But in historic perspective, since the time of Babylon, we've been having debt forgiveness and write-downs of debt. So it's nothing new that you have a debt jubilee. And don't forget, this country got a debt jubilee in the interwars between World War I and World War II, where it was 25% of the debt in the UK was written off, 50% of the French debt. If you look at the BRICS country and you exclude China, all these countries has been bankrupt or reprofiling inside the last 40 years. So reprofiling and getting to the extreme is an issue. And I think overall, and you're raising a very good point, that there is too much focus mentally about debt. The problem with debt is only if you don't deal with it, which what we haven't done in the last 20, 30 years. But if you actually sit down and try to figure it out, like the Swedish bank model where they took all of the bad debt, amortized it over a longer period, you could do the same for Europe. And that's really what the EU Jubilee, in our opinion, is about. Because take Italy, too big to fail, too big to save. The German banking system, the German numbers are not stacking up relatively to the change of technology that's happening. So Germany needs to be part of the solution. And why? Because they run the biggest current account in Europe.
The country that jumped out to me the most in terms of being in difficulty is France this week. You've got protests on the street on issues that should be isolated to a fuel tax or to a speed limit change, but it's not about that anymore. It's about fiscal austerity, it's about rich versus poor, it's about a level of unfairness, and you've got a government that wants to bring change but can't bring change because there's just too many obstacles, there's too much of a protest vote happening. So right. I wonder whether if you did write off debt, it would change the realm where you do have quite irresponsible politics happening in many different countries. And if you think about Front National, for instance, what they want to do is the populists that are getting the edge on this austerity drive. It's not traditional parties. No, and there's a trade-off. But I think you also have to realize in the political life cycle, we have a pendulum swing that goes from left to right. And right now we are, somewhere in the populist camp. The populist camp offers a lot of analysis that is right, but it offers zero in terms of solution going forward. And, to be honest, the major issue of our society today is the lack of productivity. Why do we have lack of productivity? Because with the quantitative easing policy, we have crowded out productive capital relatively to being rentiers, people who live off getting return on their money. More and more of the budget in the US, the budget cost from interest will be bigger than the military spending next year. In Italy, as we all know, it's a primarily 25% of the budget. So you need to reduce the debt burden. And so yes, Karen, you're absolutely right. France is more than about the petrol tax. It's really about the discontent, the inequality. But that inequality is again driven by the lack of productivity in society. So we've become the least productive generation ever in history, pretty much, at least since World War II. And that's and that makes the debt a real issue. But if we deal with productivity, and the first step would always have to be that we reprofile the debt, we amortize it over a longer time, but we also create an alternative. But you're absolutely right. Without an alternative, it's just become a spending exercise of creating a free-for-all in terms of just not having responsibility.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.